Can you tell I'm a proud grandma? Yes, I've got the pictures of my granddaughters, and it is so fun to sew for little people, especially little girls, because they can do all kinds of frills and all kinds of fun things. And to help me today, I've got Nicole Ogilvie, who has two kids of the same.
Yes.
In fact, they play together, don't they?
Yes. Our kids and yours play together.
Yeah,
Your grandchildren.
My grandchildren, yes. So I know that you love to sew, and isn't it fun to sew for little ones?
Well, you can do so many crazy things with little kids stuff that you can't necessarily with older ones.
Because the kids don't really have an opinion yet. I mean, they're happy. Mommy made it, and they'll wear it. And
if it's not perfect, fair enough.
Yeah, and they're okay. Yeah. So I want you to share with us some of the things that you've done, because I think it's just fun to sew for little people.
It is. One of the things that I did
is here.
Yes, it's taking a diaper shirt and making it into an actual
dress.
When you say
diaper shirt, does that mean
it's
got
the snaps underneath.
I see, okay.
And so it's an easy, simple way to get a quick dress.
Okay, so what you're going to do then is...
So you measure the child's waist, or the waist of
the shirt.
This. Yes, sometimes they fit tight.
Yeah.
Double that, and that's the amount of fabric you need for the skirt.
Okay, and then you're going to serge both ends.
Yeah.
And gather it onto there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you could gather it with elastic, or just gather it, or put a thread, or whatever.
Yeah. And it's a neat way to make their own individual garment.
Yeah. That is a fun idea. So you've got one here just pinned, and you basically just pin it.
And you just need to make sure that you've measured the same amount on both sides.
Sure.
I didn't the first time, and it was a little off.
Yes, haven't even. Although, again, they don't care. I love these. What's the story with this?
Well, we have a son who's 4 and a daughter who's almost 2.
Yeah.
And I couldn't recycle a lot of the boy things into girls, but I thought with the jeans, what I could do was just add a little girly thing.
Sure. I think that is so cute.
And just making a matching scrunchie, and of course you can use whichever type of decorative stitch you have to get it going.
Yeah, I think that is an issue. I mean, what can boys wear, what can girls wear? So yes, you can certainly feminize them. So
yes,
you did.
Yes, our son was going through a spaceship theme.
Of course.
So we made some flannel pajama pants.
Yeah.
The easy thing with these is that you just can make them 2 or 3 inches longer, hem them twice, and then when they grow, you're already set. You don't need to make a new one.
That's what I do remember about sewing for kids, is that they're basically kind of a tube. There's no shape to them.
Exactly.
And they just keep growing longer and longer. So as long as you leave some growth room, you're good.
And an elastic waist always helps that.
Of course, yes. Yeah. This little hat is just, I know I've done a lot of these too.
Yes, they're a great way to make your child stand out in a crowd.
This is what it actually looks like.
Yes. Yeah, that was our daughter's.
So you're going to then...
you just take the measurement of the child's head, the circumference of their head, serge it in a tube, flip it up about an inch. It depends, on the child, everything else. And you use a stretch stitch to make it go to sew it together.
Okay.
And you just take a scrap piece of fabric or some of the ties, tied in a little.
Well, just a minute. We're going to fringe it. Isn't that
okay.
Isn't that, so,
yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
About
how far?
I'd say about 4 inches.
Okay, something like that. Because the head has to still fit in there. It has to still scrunch.
Yeah,
so I won't do it all, but you can see that, or you wouldn't have to, I guess. You could just tie this around. Is that?
Yeah, exactly. And it depends as well how low the child wears it, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But it's a great thing.
Yeah, and a great little gift again. So
yes.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Okay, so then speaking of hats.
Yes, another way to make your children stand out in the playground when there's 50 children.
50
others. Oh. The boys are always in red and blue, and the girls are always in pink and purple.
Yeah.
But you can just get any sort of embellishment. Some are iron-on, some aren't.
Sure.
You can either sew it on, iron it on, you're set.
Okay.
And then
I like
this one is just the same thing. I just,
sure.
that was for a daughter.
And I know that when we went to Disneyland when the kids were little, I tried to make everybody the same color hat or something so that you could identify them. Because, you can lose children, and it is an issue to know where your kids are all the time.
Yeah.
These, I think, are just wonderful here.
Yes.
So
these, holes in pants is a continuing issue in our house.
Yeah.
What we do, or what I did with this one, was took 2 squares of denim, embellished them first, and then used...
fusible?
Yeah. Fusible, whichever type you have.
Yeah.
The hard stuff or the heavy stuff generally works a little bit better on the denim.
Sure.
And then just sew around it, and you're set.
Yeah, because there's going to be holes there, and you might as well make them, don't make them try to disappear.
Right.
I used to put baseballs on my kids, I remember, or soccer balls, or whatever, or little girly things, whatever. So don't throw away jeans that have got holes in them.
Just reinforce them.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you've got I like this one too, the apron idea. That's a great one.
Yeah.
You said the new thing about aprons is the...
Yes, you have to be very careful with drawstrings and hoods and things like that. It's a big safety issue now.
Sure.
So what I did for this one is just Velcroed it together.
Yeah.
And you don't need much Velcro, just a little bit. And this is a great thing for crafts and baking as well.
Sure.
Getting into any sort of mischief.
Sure, that's good. We'll just finish with this one. I know we've got, there's many things you could do, but this one you said make a big pillowcase for when you're trying to get your child to go to a big bed?
Yeah, it worked as a great transition step. The child can pick the fabric, pick the stitch.
Yeah. I think that's great too. When you're sewing for kids, let the kids be involved and let them be part of it. I mean, don't let them eat the pins. But other than that, I think,
or get the scissors.
Yeah, okay. Well, thanks so much. I think that's given me some more ideas, and I'm going to keep sewing, and you're going to keep sewing.
Oh, yes.
And don't you go away, because we've got more stuff coming.
Guests of our show stay at Travel Lodge. Nice rooms, great people. Models provided by Chan International. #1 in personal development training, modeling, and acting.
But it isn't really. In fact, it's something that I think every auntie, grandmother, whatever, should do for the new child that's coming, because it's a home decor item. It's something you'd put on the wall, and babies' rooms are so important. So that's what I did with this one. And I'm just going to get help with Nicole. It's great to have you back. I'm glad you stayed.
Yes.
Did you get one of these when you were babies? Or did you
made one.
Oh, good girl.
Yes.
You made it yourself.
That's me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just think that ABCs are so important, and my mother did this for my children, so I have to do this for my grandchildren for sure. Yes. So this is the first one. When we first had Mandy, then I did her initials and her date of birth and ABCs and did all this. If you'll notice, I was a little bit cheating on this because it was one piece of fabric, and I was given this fabric. These were the colors of the room, so I had to use that, of course. And then the back side of that fabric is rather good, so I thought, well, if I just put some squares on it, it looks like it's a quilt.
And it's so nice that you can just use one fabric and have it two different ways.
And that was all they gave me. So that was the first one that I did. Then we got another granddaughter. And so I thought, well, same room, of course, so you have used the same colors. So I thought, well, what's even easier than that one? And actually, one thing I forgot to show you on there is, if you notice, when I put them on, I fused them down, and I put the buttonhole stitch all the way around.
Oh, what an easy way to do it.
And that was a nice way to finish it. But then I got lazier on this. And I thought, doggone, if we just take the ruler, and I was kind of drawing some lines on here so I'd know where to stitch, and I thought, well, why don't I just use one of the felt pens and draw it all on? So it's sort of, if you wanted to stitch, this would be a great thing to stitch. Yeah. But if you want to just draw your lines with a felt pen, you'd be fine too.
And how did you know what size to make it?
Well,
or how big it would end up being?
I decided, and this is how I started. I said, okay, let's take a name, and this is just any name. Let's take a name and start making some things. You see, I didn't want to make ABCs again because it's too much the same.
Yes.
So I said, okay, we'll just pick the name Suzanne. What lovely things could you say about this?
Say cute.
Cute, C-U-T-E, and I was going to say sweet.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
Crazy. So you could just keep, and you have to make a framework. You have to make a grid so you can put these on. And I just kept on going. Okay, so something that starts with T, ticklish. That would be good. So then you write all these things, and then you decide how many squares you need wide and how many squares you need deep.
I see.
So your wall hanging becomes sort of the size of whatever. You can't very well change the name of the child, but you can kind of rearrange with whatever. So I thought about my little Eva, and I put her name, so it's Eva, Marie, and MacPhee. And then I just sort of filled in all the rest. So she'll know where ABC is by the time she'll learn to read and do all those kinds of things. Yeah. What to do and how to put these letters on. That's a good old trick. It's a good applique trick. If you wanted to use a fabric like this, and you've done this many times, Nicole, so I'll just show our viewers. What you're going to do is you're going to put some fusible on it. And there's a sticky side and there's a smooth side. So you don't put your iron on the sticky side. You iron down, and this iron isn't quite as hot as it needs to be, but I've got one over here, right over there.
There we go.
And there it is, and that is just stuck down. So that is become one with this piece of fabric. And now I can cut out my letters like this, and like this, and like this, and I can now decide what letter I want. If I want a V, And I just do them on a square like that because that's so much easier than to try and work out exactly. So
Yes.
if it's something like this, I'll go like this, and there's an L easily, but you can put whatever. And make it the size of your square, just a little bit smaller than your square.
Yeah.
So I actually used a knit fabric to do it. This is a woven fabric, and it's going to fray a little bit. So
so the knit
fabric
saves you.
is going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
So that's the big trick. Then you said you didn't know how to do all
No,
my
I've seen these on
sparkles.
loads of things, but I've never seen how they're done.
It's just great fun because I just love these, and you can put them anywhere you want. So any place I haven't put one, you found, okay, we can put one in the middle. Why not put one right there? So you just put them all out and have a look and see what they look like. And then you just zap it because the glue's already behind there. So you just zap them.
When it melts through the metal.
And the metal conducts the heat, and that is on there to stay. That is not going to move.
Wow.
So you can then just jazz it up with all kinds of metals. There's all kinds that you can put on wherever, and you can make your own little designs, and you just keep on going.
Yeah.
And I put the birth date here and whatever,
Yeah.
so it just goes on and on.
Individual for every child.
So thanks for joining me, and thank you for joining us. And don't go away because we've got good stuff coming up right away. I love to get your mail, and I love to hear your questions and see your comments and see your pictures, so keep sending them. The address is at the end of the program. So I've got a great one today. It says, "Hi, Linda. I need some of your advice. I'm very environmentally conscious, and I'm about to have a baby. I'd rather not use disposables. What can I do?" It's from Cindy in Fort St. John. I think that's a great question, Cindy, and I'm just so delighted that I brought in somebody who's going to be able to help me answer that. And I brought in Julia, a friend.
Hi.
And it's great to have you here.
Thanks.
And
It's great
so
to be here.
what possessed you then to do this?
Well, aside from the fact that disposables are very expensive after
Yes.
using them for, 2 or 3 years,
Yes?
they end up in the landfill. And I think enough stuff ends up in the landfill. We don't need extra diapers going in when they don't need to be going there.
I read recently that it's going to take 200 years for one of these to decompose.
Yeah, it's true. They're not made of very environmentally friendly materials either. If you think of the
Really?
chlorine that goes into them, do
Yeah.
you want that against your baby's bum all day?
Okay, all right. So you decided on your own then, and then with some help? Or
Yeah, actually, with my firstborn, who's almost 2, my mother-in-law made us a whole bunch of diapers.
Okay.
But after, going through the wash, after 2 years, they kind of got worn out a little bit. So with the new baby coming along, we decided to make some more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, back in the good old days, which is where I was, of course, it's what I did and what everybody of my contemporaries did as well.
Mm-hmm.
Are you finding that any of your contemporaries are doing it? Or?
I have a few friends. I'd say it's about equal. Half of them do it, half of them don't. But I think it's more the group of people I hang out with. I
Okay.
think most people don't.
And I think it is. I think it's.
It is. Lots of people
great.
are still shocked when they
Yeah,
hear, but
yeah. No, I
it
think it's great.
definitely is getting out there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's just quickly say how you did it then. You
Okay.
made a pattern.
Yeah, this is just a basic pattern. It's just an hourglass shape. It's a little smaller at the front and then bigger at the back.
Okay. And then you made it out of what?
Actually, for these ones, for the new baby, we used old towels and receiving blankets. Because
Oh.
with our first baby, we got so many receiving blankets that they
You
were
just
just,
cut them off.
yeah, we
And I
didn't
would
need
think
that many.
flannelette sheets. would
Yeah,
work.
anything really,
Okay.
any spare fabric. you
And
have
then
that's kinda
the
soft.
terry?
The terry towel, my husband, he used to live with his grandma, and when he moved out, she gave him like stacks of towels.
So these are all recycled towels?
They're all,
Oh,
yeah, so
good
these diapers were
girl.
actually free, basically.
Good girl. Okay. So then to go about doing them, you've actually cut out the shape, one out of
Yeah.
the towel, one out of the flannel.
Yeah.
What's your soaker thing in there?
Our soaker, we just folded towels about 3 times, and
Okay.
then so they're just basically a big
And you
rectangle.
zigzag that in there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then you put some elastic. I can see that.
Yeah, it's just
So you
tacked in on both sides, and then we just
just a narrow elastic.
sew along
Yeah.
there just to keep
Because
it
if
in
you sew
place.
right through the elastic, it's going to lose its elasticity.
Yeah, after a while. That's what we did with the first ones, and with
Yeah.
these ones we decided to just tack
Sure.
them in.
So then you're going to serge around the outside edge.
Mm-hmm.
So it could actually be either way. You could have the baby's bum in here or the baby's bum in here.
Yeah, it depends on what you want.
Sure. And then you've put some snaps.
Yeah, we put
this-
snaps on, and
and I
these
would-
ones, this size of diaper, my son, because this is the same pattern we used with my son, and
sure.
he wore them from the time he was about 3 months until he's still wearing them.
Okay,
So
okay, yeah, and you can adjust them that way, and it's actually easier to do the snaps than the Velcro, you think?
I think so. We use Velcro with the first ones for my son, and after being washed so many times, and they stick to everything, and the Velcro just really loses its...
Thank you so much, and I hope, Cindy, that you're watching. I hope that answers your question, and we're actually going to go on the road right after this, so don't go away. Can you believe that this plastic wrap, this is the stuff that you use in your fridge to put on or to put over your leftovers, you know, you've done it. This can become this beautiful coat. And I just can't believe that that's just too fantastic. I love to go on the road and meet interesting people, and I really hit the jackpot today because Anna Hergert has invited us into her studio. So thank you, Anna.
Oh, welcome, Linda.
And you're the creator of this.
Yes, I am.
Can you tell me what possessed you?
Well, I was looking for fabric, some interesting fabric, and I couldn't find it. And so I was very frustrated one day, and I thought, I'm just going to give up on the whole idea of making this coat. And I was in the kitchen, and I thought, what could I do with this if I layer several of these pieces together? And that's how this all started.
Okay. So you basically started out kind of as an embroiderer or a quilter?
I did, yes. First and foremost, I was an embroiderer.
Okay.
And then I had some formal training with City and Guilds of London.
Okay.
And embarked through the embroidery onto patchwork and quilting as well.
Oh, I love it. I love it. If this is quilting, I'm there for sure.
Okay.
So come and show me how you do this.
All right.
So
we've laid out a piece of the food wrap, and now all I'm going to do
is one layer, then.
That's just one layer, very first layer, and I just put a little bit of acrylic paint on it. Any acrylic paint will do.
Okay.
Student grade,
and you could
anything.
Just do it anywhere.
Just anywhere.
Kind of,
And you see how playful that is.
This is not rocket science.
No, not rocket science whatsoever.
Okay.
Next, for example, here, I will take a few threads. I had these threads left over.
This is a great place to use, yeah.
Absolutely. We always have some leftover threads.
Okay.
And so.
Good. So do you want me to get another layer? Okay, so here we go. This works well, I guess, with two people. Let's see.
Absolutely. It's much easier.
All right, so we're going to layer this on top then. Yes. It doesn't matter if it wrinkles a little bit? It doesn't really matter?
No, it adds dimension and it just adds interest.
We call it texture.
That's right.
Yeah, okay. So.
And then I have, for example, here, just a little bit of gold sparkle.
And I like the idea of enclosing this sparkle because then it can't get out and can't get all over everything, so this is good.
It. Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to put anything else?
Yes, how about a few gold stars?
Sure, sure. So this is sort of your... Well, I should say recycled, but you could take things from anywhere and anything that you have to have. I presume we're going to take another layer.
Yes, we will.
Okay, and I'll just cut it here.
And I'll show you what I put on this layer.
Okay.
Speaking of recycling.
Yeah.
Taking wax crayon. We have them around from the children or the grandchildren, the little stubs. This one, I just have a little square around. I just shave it off with a kitchen knife.
And it could be multicolors. It could be whatever color, because this comes in lots of colors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And in this case, we're just recycling the yellow.
Okay.
And put another...
You're going to say I'm going to press this? I don't know.
Yeah, I will. Actually, I'm also adding a little bit of confetti, just because.
I think you're kind of a gal that breaks the rules quite
I do.
Yes.
I love breaking rules.
I love it. I like that very much. Okay, so I'll cut this off again, and we'll cover this up then.
Cover it up.
So how many layers would you put on this?
I would put up to 5.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got 4 right here, and that'll do for now.
Okay, so goodness, you're not going to put the iron on this?
No.
Okay,
all
right.
I go back to the kitchen and get myself some parchment paper and place the parchment paper on top.
And
then
general
actually, I set it to cotton.
Okay.
And then I make sure it really fuses together.
Okay.
And to your left, over the iron, you see
what it's going to come out like after you've ironed it.
That's it.
Is that beautiful?
So the gold sometimes melts into this wonderful gold pool.
Yes.
And here's some of the gold stars. Here is the wax crayon.
Paper, or wax crayon, yeah.
And the next step then is to cut off a strip, which I've done already. So I've got a strip of this.
Yeah.
And I go, and my choice is to cut circles. However, you could do any shape.
What inspired you the circles? Just that?
Just the story. The inspiration for that was a window from the early 20th century in Barcelona, and it was all circles put together, and it was just so stunning that I decided to recreate that.
Well, I think there's so many crossovers between stained glass and quilting. I mean, it's very similar, yeah.
That's right.
So then let's take these.
So we have these, and I go over to my sewing machine where I've already set up the sewing machine is threaded with metallic thread, top and bottom, which means the bobbin.
Sure.
And I've got a length here that I've started a while ago.
So you have to put it on a base, I can tell.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And this is silk gauze.
Boy, that is loosely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's wonderful.
Got enough body that you can just
it does.
put this on top and you can
Yes.
start a stitch.
You could also use
cheesecloth?
cheesecloth,
Sure,
yes, and you could paint it. You don't have to stay
And
with
of course that
gold.
stays in. It doesn't wash away or do
That's
anything.
right.
It stays.
And the looser the better.
Okay.
And I just start and attach it to the closest circles
Yeah.
and start.
That little circular motion looks to be
Yes.
like a smart one
Yes,
because you get a lot of thread and...
you do.
Yeah.
You capture it and it really stays in place. But see, I've distorted it right now, which is okay.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, they don't have to be perfect, I'm
No.
sure.
And hardly any of them really are.
Yeah, yeah.
First of all, they're freehand cut.
Yeah, yeah.
And so here we are. We have one
And
circle
so on,
attached.
and so on.
And so on, and so on.
Yeah. All right, let's go back and look at this one because I
All
think
right.
we'll get a better idea of what this is now.
Mm-hmm.
All of these are your circles all sewn together. Now, what happened here?
Right. Well, here I decided to bring them together in a flame point. This came from the original window idea.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I can't just leave them hanging like this. So I continued. I still had the gauze in the back.
Yeah.
I continued to stitch just
On the
with
gauze.
regular, yes,
Okay,
with gold thread, bottom and top. And then I added bobbin work with some knitting yarn on the top.
Okay, so when you put this together, it wasn't pieces. You sort of developed it and let it kind of happen and let it kind of flow
Yes,
together.
and I kept trying it on because
Okay.
it was supposed to be
So
for
this
me.
actually works. And
Oh,
it
it
fits
does.
you and you
it does.
can wear it.
Yes, I can.
Oh, I wonder. Oh, let's look at the edge here too. This is stitching or is
This
this
is
braid?
stitching. No, it's the same thread that I've used here, which was actually a metallic knitting yarn, and I've brought it onto the bobbin. I hand wound it onto the bobbin.
I love the clasps. That is your ultimate in recycling. I
It
think
is,
I know what
isn't it?
these are.
Okay, try.
Paper
Guess.
clips?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Yeah, those are no ordinary paper clips. They're great.
They are wonderful.
I'm just inspired. I'm totally inspired. So thank you so much, Anna. This has just been fantastic. And I've got to go because we're out of time, but Anna's so good to share all this with us. I've got to get home and do it.
To receive the companion book for this series with all of the project details, send 1998 to the address on your screen or call 1-888-MacPhee or visit us on the web at www.MacPheeWorkshop.com. Sponsored in part by Janome, quality sewing machines since 1921. And by Rowenta, the garment care experts, meeting the needs of the sewing enthusiast for over 100 years with high-performance irons, steamers, steam generators, and ironing boards. And Wonderfill Specialty Threads, thread for the way you sew. And by the Woolen Mill Store, your source for quality fabrics and more, featuring the largest selection of wool and wool blend, yardage from Pendleton Woolen Mills. And by Horn of America, experience quality, innovative ideas, and customer service. And Creative Festival, bursting at the seams with hundreds of industry experts, conference classes, exhibits, and more. Experience creativity in the making.